Hello YouTube, tonight it is Lindy and Bart and Clarence in our Bougie apartment, and I thought this evening we would talk about Chinese work culture versus American culture, and this is more geared toward office setting jobs, but we're going to be talking about what it's appropriate to do, what it's not appropriate to do, and just major differences I've noticed. For reference, I did work in an office in a lawnmower blade factory between freshman and sophomore year of college. I also worked at a noodles and company, I worked at a Sonic drive-in at 2 different locations, and I worked at a normal restaurant as well. And the first thing I noticed is the amount of screwing around that happens in a Chinese work setting. Yeah, you see people on their phones, they're on WeChat, which is the Chinese equivalent of Facebook. They'll take personal calls, they'll be looking at pictures online, just kind of generally screwing around. And in America, that would not fly. On the computers in the lawnmower blade factory office, they had, like, I guess you'd call it like a stalking app where they could see what you were doing at all times. And if you were on Facebook all the time, that was not okay. If you were on YouTube all the time, that was not okay. Somebody got in trouble for doing fantasy baseball all the time. No, here they do not care. And I think part of it is Chinese culture is that you're supposed to be available pretty much at all times. So if you all of a sudden weren't on WeChat and you weren't answering your messages within a few minutes, it'd be like, oh my God, are you dead? Are you okay? Like, do you need me to call somebody? And I just think that it's kind of okay. And it was a big surprise to me. I'm like, so what do I do? Because in America, if you don't have any work to do, you should ask the boss, like, oh, like, is there anything you need help with? Is there anything you want me to do? And they'll just say here, oh, just have a rest. Just have a rest. And that translates into basically do whatever you want as long as you're sitting at your desk. Personally, I'll cross stitch because I'm into that, or I'll take a nap, or I'll like play on my phone, and it's totally fine. And I think part of that is Chinese people are pretty anal about time. Because right now my current job is 39.5 hours a week. And if it starts at 8 o'clock, you have to be there at 8 o'clock. There's a little fingerprint scanner thing where you check in and you put your fingerprint on there and it says when you came in. If you're late, you get fined, and it's kind of like hurry up and wait because you get there and then you just sit at your desk and do nothing. But I think, yeah, they're anal about some stuff, they're calmer about some other things. And something else I've noticed is time management is not a thing. At my old job, we had a weekly meeting that was an hour, and you were supposed to talk to Chinese teachers, write your lesson plans, do what you got to do. But during the weekends, we would have classes, and some classes might have like a 45-minute break or a half-hour break. And I thought, oh, I'll just write my lesson plans then and just save time and not have to go into the weekly meeting. No, does not work that way. Even if you had all your lesson plans completely done for like the next month, you still had to go there and sit there and do nothing. So I think that's why they're more calm about people being on Facebook or WeChat. Because, yeah, you have to sit there, and if you got everything done, like, what? Like, what do you want me to do? And I've noticed that for native speakers, it's a lot easier for us because we're writing in our native language, whereas the Chinese teachers might have to think about it and translate. Yeah, we can just, bam, like, everything's quick. But part of this sitting around is if you're going to be sitting around this much with this many people, you're going to kind of get to know each other. And something that the Chinese do, which I think is nice, is they share their food. So probably like 2-3 times a day at snack time, like somebody will just walk around the office with whatever they have. It could be strawberries, it could be little cookies, little crazy Chinese snacks that I'm not entirely sure what they are, and they just ask you if you want snacks. And I think that's really nice, and yeah, everybody generally gets along pretty well. And something else Chinese culture does is tea. I get asked all the time, oh, I got like these new, like, I don't know what you'd call them, like little flower things that you put in your tea. You want to try some? Oh, I got some of this. You want to try it? You want to try it? Sure. There's a lot of drinking tea, and if you're drinking a lot of tea, you need to go pee a lot. And this is something I really like about China is they're not bathroom Nazis, because at all the jobs I worked at in America, you had to tell somebody if you were going to the bathroom. And I felt like, what am I, like 10? Like, why do I need to tell you to go to the bathroom? And I got in trouble a few times for not telling somebody. But no, here they don't care. If you need to go to the bathroom, just go. And they don't care. And it's totally fine. And that's something I appreciate. Something else they do here, and I've talked to other foreigners about this, and I think Americans are just kind of like, if I have to be here, I want it to be as short as possible. And our lunch breaks are maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on where you work. Even at school when I was little, for lunch and recess, we had 45 minutes, half an hour was lunch, 45 minutes was recess. And realistically, the lunchtime, by the time you got up there, got your food, sat down, it was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 minutes. No, in China, that would not work. We have an hour for lunch during the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday part of the week, and then 2 hours during Saturday and Sunday, and that's pretty common around the country. I've talked to other people, and it's somewhere between an hour and a half, 2 hours. Kids will have 2 hours from school, and during that break, you can go home, which I do because the dog needs to go out. You can go to the supermarket. You can do whatever you want to do, just provided you're back in time and you fingerprint on the thing. Something else you'd have to do when you leave is outside shoes. I've not had this anywhere. In the restaurant setting, you had to have non-slip shoes, and I understand that's the law, but you would just kind of wear those in from your car. You wouldn't have to change when you got in. But here there are inside shoes and there are outside shoes. I don't know how many of you watched Mr. Rogers when you were little, but you would see him. He comes in, he sings a song, and he changes his shoes. Yeah, that's what I do whenever I go out. You do not wear your outside shoes in the office because you don't. You change your shoes. You keep a pair there that you wear exclusively in the office, and I guess it's to control dirt. Like, they're kind of weird about that. They really, really don't like dirt. We have a cleaning lady who sweeps every few hours. They clean out the office every night, and there is a fair amount of dirt, and I'm not really sure where that comes from since everybody wears their inside shoes. But yeah, those are just some things I've noticed. I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything, just different. And if you come to China and work, that might be something you want to consider. Like I said, my old job had that one thing where it was just the meeting weekly. My current job, yeah, has a lot of office hours. And if you're okay with just sitting and doing nothing, and you feel like, well, I'm going to get paid to sit there, that's fine. That might be something to think about. If you don't want to get paid to sit there and do nothing and you'd rather have your time to be at your house, you're going to want to look for something that advertises low office hours. Just a little heads up. Okay, that's about it for now. I will talk to you later, and thank you for watching. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye.